Are you ready to have your website get found by the right people? Are you looking to rank at the top of Google so you get more traffic to your website? Are you ready to learn how to use SEO and content marketing to grow your organic traffic? If so, you are in the right place, my friend. Welcome to the Simple SEO Content Podcast, where I show you how to combine the power of SEO, search engine optimization, and content marketing to build your like, know, and trust factor with your audience, which allows you to get found by the right people and turn those visitors into buyers. No more frustration or confusion, and no more time wasted wondering if you're doing your SEO right. It's time to learn how to use SEO and content marketing to grow your business. Hi, and welcome back to the Simple Marketing and SEO podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Lind Teigen, and I'm really glad to have you here with me today so that we can talk about how you make money or make more sales using the content that you're creating. So there are some things that I want you to make sure that you're doing with each piece of content that you're creating, because they're going to help you not only bring traffic into the content piece, but nurture that traffic and ultimately help them be ready to convert, because you need them to convert for you to make money. So let's jump right in. The first thing I want you to make sure you're doing with your content is that you are optimizing it. You're doing SEO. If it's a podcast, you're optimizing that podcast. If it's a blog, you're optimizing the blog. If it's social media, you've optimized your profile. And if it's YouTube, you've optimized your video. Whatever type of content you are creating, there are SEO best practices today for the different channels. And I want you to make sure you're following them and you're optimizing it so that you're making it easier for the social media channel or the marketing channel that you're using to understand what your content is about. It also makes it easier for potential listeners, viewers, readers, customers, etc., to connect with you and to find you. So above all else, I want you to understand how important SEO is, no matter what type of content you are creating. We're no longer just talking about doing SEO for Google. We're doing SEO across the board for our multiple marketing channels so that we can get as many eyeballs on our content or as many ears listening, whatever it is, so that we can connect with and help more people. The more you can grow your audience, the better your business is going to do. So very first thing is to make sure you're doing SEO and you're following the best practices for the channel that you are creating your content in. And I want you to remember, you're choosing a keyword, but your keyword may be different. Realistically, your keywords probably are different for YouTube, for your podcast, and for your blog, because the way that we choose keywords is different based on where we are using them. And I want you to make sure that you really understand that, because that's a big mindset shift for some of us, is that the keyword that's right on Google may not be, probably won't be, the right keyword for YouTube or your podcast. Okay. Super important that you understand that. If you're trying to figure out how to find the right keyword for Google, I've got the free training class. I've also got, if you want to work one-on-one with me, I've got the one-on-one consulting session where I help you find your keywords, or you can join me in Simple SEO Content. If you want to learn how to do podcast SEO, I've got a blog post that's available that's got some starter tips for you to help you understand. I will be working on some more podcast SEO content in the future, but for right now, I've got a great blog post that'll get you started. You're going to choose a keyword and you're going to optimize the content. That's first and foremost, because optimizing it is going to help us get more people to the content. And that's the first step of this. The next step is to make sure that the content that you're creating aligns with your business, your products, and your services, and provides value to your ideal customer. So the search engines can bring people to us. However, if we're targeting keywords that don't really align with our business, or we don't have a product or service that ties to it, then we're going to get people who come in who aren't really our ideal customer, and they're going to bounce. They're going to come, they're going to look, and they're going to leave without doing anything else on our website, because we really can't help them. They're not in a good place. And Google in particular does not want to rank you high for a keyword that's not really super relevant. So make sure you're being really cautious, not cautious, but really strategic with your keyword targeting, and that you're using ones that your ideal customer would use, that you can potentially rank for, that tie to your products and services. Make sure you're providing value and you're creating helpful content in whatever format it's in. Yes, Google's algorithm is called helpful content algorithm. However, everybody wants you to create content that's helpful. Your podcast needs to be helpful and have great content. Your YouTube videos need to be helpful and have great content. Everything that you create needs to be helpful and geared towards your ideal customer, not a search engine. So now we've created great content. We've made sure that we're thinking about the person we're trying to help and that we've created it with them in mind. We've optimized it so that the search engines can bring more people to us, or we make it easier for them to find us. Now, we need to make it really easy for them to buy when they get to our website or listen to our podcast or watch our YouTube video. So your podcast and your YouTube videos are going to have show notes or descriptions or things like that associated with them. You need to make sure you're including what we call a call to action, which is something that tells your listener or your viewer or your reader what they can do, what their next step is, and you make it really easy and simple for them. To learn about X, do this. To work with me, do that. To buy this shirt, click here. You need to do simple, easy to understand, straightforward call to actions, and they need to stand out. So if you have, let's talk about your blog for a second. You have a blog post. Your call to action button needs to be a unique color that's only call to action buttons. Don't use the same color for your call to action that you're using for all of your headers or all of your highlight text, because it's not really going to stand out. So make sure your call to action buttons are easy to see. They're clear, they're concise, they're a special color, all of that, and make sure that you're using them. This is one of the biggest issues that I see when people are saying, I'm creating content, but I'm not getting any traction. I'm not making any sales. They're either not adding a call to action, so they're not really telling their visitor how to work with them, or their call to action is hidden. It's hard to find. It's hard to read, all of that. So make sure that your text has contrast. Don't have a light color and a light text. You want a light color and a dark text, or you want a dark color and a light text. You want high contrast that's easy on the eyes. Don't necessarily use like neon yellow that's going to hurt people's eyes, though yellow can be a really good color to use to catch attention. Orange can be excellent to catch attention. You can test and see if your conversions change based on what color you use on your call to action button. I did that years ago with some of the clients that I worked with, and it really can make a difference. So make sure you've got a call to action. You're explaining, you're telling them what to do. For example, I'm going to tell you, if you'd like me to look at your page with you, go to the Working with Rachel tab, and you will find information on how you and I can work together. I have some one-on-one consulting sessions, or we can work together over the course of a couple of months to work with you on one-on-one twice a month to really figure all of this out together. You don't have to do this alone. Go to Working with Rachel on my website, etchedmarketing.com. See how easy that is? That's what you want to do. So you want to have that in your blog post. You want to use that on your podcast or in your video. You want to make sure that you're linking to those pages in your show notes, in your descriptions, and in your blog posts, so that it's really easy for your reader, listener, viewer to understand how to work with you. The only way you're going to build a customer base from your content and you're going to make money from your content is if your content is designed to help you convert. So you've got to make sure that you are using the keyword that somebody is going to be searching for. You've got to optimize it for the search engine, following the best practices of whatever platform it is. And you need to include a simple, easy to understand call to action so that your listener, reader, viewer knows what to do. Above all, make sure you're writing for them and you're providing value, because you can get them to your page, but if you don't provide value, they're not going to stay and they're not going to want to buy from you. So always provide value. Always be honest and truthful and helpful. All right, that's it for today. I know it's a quick tip episode, but this is going to help you to start making more money from the content that you're creating. Let me know if you have any questions. That's all for today's episode of the Simple SEO Content Podcast. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you visit my website, etchedmarketing.com, and visit the freebies tab. Right there, you're going to find the SEO Content Quick Start Guide along with the free SEO class. So you'll have everything you need to know to get started with SEO and content marketing. Then do me a favor, if you wouldn't mind, if you would do a rating and a review of this podcast on your favorite platform. That would really help spread the message, and I do greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can always DM me on Instagram at Etched Marketing Academy, and I will see you right back here next week.